This is a right aileron torque tube, and took this off or making this video for a couple of reasons. One is show the corrosion that occurred. I mean, this was inside of a fairly well sealed aileron. I mean, the skin was not damaged or in any way, but you can clearly see that there'd be corrosion on here. I mean, it looks like condensation, because this would be on the right side of the airplane, and as installed it would be this way. So the fact that I got these big droplets on the bottom and then these ones on the top, I mean, these are obviously condensation. You know, the water dripped onto the tube and then formed into these little puddles on the bottom and just dried up there. I mean, this is all going to come off with Scotch-Brite. I don't have any problem with that. Nothing in here is into the surface, but this is just, I mean, it's an untreated aluminum tube. You know, these wooden ribs, they're on there pretty tight, so they probably shrunk quite a bit. The fasteners for that, you could see this is the inner part here that would have been inside the tube. And so all the parts that were in touch with the wood, all the parts that were in touch with the wood corroded, because wood normally contains moisture. This is going to be moisture from it pooling on the inside of the countersink here. So again, like this head would be in here. I'm assuming that water, again, condensated or somehow got into the middle of this and then, you know, formed on the head. I don't know. Most of these, come on, focus. Most of these nuts are not that bad. See, the nuts are in pretty good shape. Still not going to reuse them, but you know, all these heads, same issue. Anything that was in touch with wood. And then you have the rust on the top, corrosion on the top. So again, this is, I don't know when this would have been put together. 2024 T3, 10-foot section. The part that was under the flap, like most of that section there was flap, it's completely clean. There's absolutely no corrosion on there whatsoever. It's only when you get out into this part here that you start seeing this corrosion. I haven't undone the other one yet. I haven't done the left torque tube yet, but that's interesting. You know, whatever they did on the flap worked. Whatever they did on the aileron allowed, you know, enough more. And since I've had this airplane, it's never been outside. It's always been in a garage. I mean, nothing I would have done would have caused any level of water seepage or anything like that. But you can see it's on both ends. I don't have a flashlight to shine down in there, but I'm definitely going to take a peek, make sure there's nothing on the inside. But since this is aluminum, if no water got on it, well, then there shouldn't be any corrosion. But this is your standard issue aluminum corrosion. You know, white flaky powder. That's basically where the water sat. And what's obvious is that, you know, these drops hung there for a while. You know, several. I mean, this wasn't just one rainfall, I don't believe, or one water incident. This had to happen a couple times, especially with this one where you can see it's all over the place. So we'll clean this up with Scotch-Brite, take off the rest of these, and then we'll do the port side and see how they go. These ribs here, I mean, they're serviceable, I guess. They're reusable. No, this one isn't. This one's busted up. But again, red oak. You can tell by the by those little phloem, whatever they call them in plants. But only here's a fracture right here, so this one's no good. See right here. It's not one. There we go. That's not a scratch. That goes a little bit deeper. There's another one right there. So, you know, these aren't going to be reused. We got the right wood for this. I don't know. I guess this was probably a tooling mark for aligning it when they were cutting it out. See, yeah, because all of them have it. There's one here and there's one here. So that was a tooling mark. And they almost, when they made the template, they must have done that. But yeah, we're going to redo all these again. This one here looks like you made a mistake. I don't know. I'll have to check the plans. This might have been for a bushing or a bearing, but I don't remember taking out bearings from every one of these. I mean, this one obviously has a bearing in it, and it's shot. It's nah. But I don't know. I guess that's going to be step. But like I said, there wasn't enough bearings on the floor when I was done for each one of these. So what may have happened is they may have just inadvertently drilled them all out for bearings when they didn't need them. I don't know. But there definitely wasn't that many bearings installed. So we'll see what happens when we take a look at the plans again. I have the plans for the metal wings, but I'm definitely going to kind of mix match between the two because the cost of the aluminum honeycomb is redonkulous right now. So I can't even consider that. So we'll clean this up, do another video. But again, this is just pretty interesting, this corrosion. I mean, there's an obvious something going on there. So